President-elect Biden is going to face some pressure from the left to bring this issue of forgiving student loan debt to the forefront of his agenda. But the question, of course, is with the U.S. national debt skyrocketing, we've got it up for you there, to the highest level since World War II. Should student loans top the priority list? To American Action Forum President and former CBO Director Doug Holtz-Eakin. Doug, I will pose that question to you. We have a lot on our plate right now as we're getting through this pandemic, and we are not through the woods just yet. So, I mean, is this the time to start giving stuff away?
I don't think so, no. It makes perfect sense to borrow money to undertake measures that are effective in countering the virus and helping the economy recover more quickly. I don't think anyone would dispute that. But to add on these items that have nothing to do with that is not a good precedent. And certainly forgiving past student debt does nothing to improve educational outcomes. It leads people to think they don't have to pay back debt in the future, so it exacerbates the problems we have with the student loan program. And the research shows that it's a bigger windfall for the affluent than for the poor. And so it's hard to understand why this is such an attractive idea. You just burden the taxpayers and you don't accomplish anything in higher education.
Yeah, and especially at a time where we're dealing with the pandemic and we're dealing with so much spending. I mean, we can't talk enough right now about stimulus, and folks are getting checks. I mean, somebody is going to have to pay this money back. And it seems like when it comes to the conversation that the Democrats have, they don't worry about that.
It's really quite remarkable. There's sort of this casual invocation of the need for example, free college going forward. It should just be free. The United States entered this pandemic with an unsustainable budget outlook. It will exit with the highest level of debt in national history and an unsustainable future outlook to add on spending programs to the existing problems. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, the big entitlement programs that are growing much, much faster than revenues, just really doesn't add up in the most fundamental arithmetic sense.
Yeah, and when it comes to education, I mean, you can't just make everything free, right? People have to have some skin in the game, and that's what student loans are designed for. I would say the bigger issue seems to be how costly college tuitions are, and would there be some way to try to reform the system in that regard to make it more affordable for students so they can get their loans, they can get their education, they can get a job, and they can pay it back, right? That teaches some sense of responsibility.
I agree with the incentives, and it's also true that, you know, having free college wouldn't do one thing to change the quality of the higher education. It wouldn't improve time to completion. It takes too long for kids to get through school. It wouldn't assist in having students be ready to go to college. I mean, this is about some sort of putting the money on the taxpayer, but not really solving the underlying problem. And that's the real difficulty with this discussion.
And it's interesting because with the cost of college today, you know, people often ask, maybe you're better off learning a trade, a skill, some sort of craft, because you have so many students coming out of college not able to pay the debt back and not able to get a job either, Doug.
Well, certainly we've seen a revival of interest in training programs, apprenticeships, teaching people skilled trades. That is the appropriate career path for some people. Not everyone is cut out to go to college and get a liberal arts education, for example. So having a better set of choices and a more affordable set of choices, I think, is much more important than this government financing of all the different education options.
All right, Doug, great to see you. Happy New Year. Thanks so much.
Happy New Year. Thank you.